I can never seem to get my head at the same level as yours.
It is good.
Metaphorically speaking.
I was wondering in our text thread if there's a way for me to go in. You know, I can see like pictures I've sent to you.
Yeah.
There's no way to see like the. Is there a way for me to like just see pins? Wouldn't that be good if you could just see,
like search for that emoticon or something?
Oh, maybe I can do that.
Can you just search for just that?
I didn't think about that. Oh, let's try that. Oh,
it's the common thread. Did it work?
Oh my goodness, it's great.
Awesome. Well, there you go. Solve that problem.
It's great. Well, yeah.
We may have created another one.
So, I feel like we have so much to talk about and so little time.
Yeah.
To waste. But I think we can do this.
I believe in us.
The problem is that we've been bouncing around from topic to topic that I don't even know. I don't even know what we've skipped over, what we have decided not to touch again because, well, there's that. I don't know, man. I feel like you should get dealer's choice on this one. You should how's your day? First of all, good day.
The day's been pretty good. Yeah. I'm really enjoying the weather, man. This is like some of the most pleasant weather ever. This has been really nice. And then sort of like it makes working your day job not seem that bad.
Well, okay, that's fair.
Yeah. Not good. Not like it makes it seem pleasant. Yeah, it's not quite as.
Are you saying the weather makes it? Wait.
Yeah, you got like the windows open and stuff, and everything feels okay, and then kind of puts you in a little bit of a positive attitude, which I'm never in, as you know.
No, I know. Yeah. I mean, if your face has anything to say about it.
My face says everything about all of the things, usually. It's when something on me that ain't my face says something, that's when we got to start, I don't know, talking about a trip to the hospital or something.
Or the circus.
I mean, it is, yeah, we can monetize it if we need to.
If there's other parts of you that begin speaking, doesn't even need to be full sentences, really.
Not really. And then if I can speak at the same time, then it's possible to get like a harmony thing going.
Oh, like Ebony and Ivory.
Right. They live together in perfect harmony.
Yeah.
It's like a perfect fifth.
Side by side on that piano.
Which
keyboard.
Wouldn't be a fifth, that would be a second. And that's very discordant. Isn't that interesting? If they're side by side on the piano, that's an interval called a second, and it sounds like garbage. If you push,
I don't think they mean. I think they just meant like it's
C
just right
and the
there.
D at the exact same time. That sounds like crap. So I don't think it's perfect harmony. I really don't.
Okay, first of all, I don't want to. What else? I was about to say something, and then I thought to myself, Self, maybe you shouldn't say that. So I'm not going to. I won't mention that Stevie Wonder can't see the piano.
Well, he knows the keys next to other keys don't sound good when you push them down together.
He still has to go on. He still has to go on a certain kind of faith that the people are telling him that is. There's a lot of faith involved in. Can you imagine? I don't want to imagine, but
yeah.
The thing, okay, since I was a kid, the thing that always perplexed me the most about being blind,
right?
I don't think it was the obvious things. It was. I always got anxious for them. That they don't really know what they look like. Like they don't really know.
Like if they comb their hair right or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Like. Yeah. Does this match?
I was thinking about that when we were watching Daredevil, the Netflix series. Because they showed his closet and he had little strips of paper with Braille on them that said what each of the things was. And I was like, man, you got to trust that the dry cleaners are putting the right strips on the right things and that you're not walking into court with like a red and white checkered clown coat on or something like that because somebody decided to be. I mean, I don't know why he would have bought that coat in the first place.
Well, then why would? But how?
Well, he would know, right?
Because your subject thing. I mean, you need somebody with you all the time who's going to be the fact checker, who's going to say no.
Yeah.
No, you're not getting that.
Ironic that he's a lawyer because that's kind of what he needs. Sort of somebody
that's a fictional
that advocate.
story, right? And that's not. I mean,
well, says you, but. But I tell you the thing that has most kind of blows my mind whenever I think of it, when it comes to someone born without sight, not that they went through an accident, but they have never had the power of sight. And that is that the way we think about being blind is we close our eyes and we see black. But someone that has never had the sense of sight doesn't see black. They don't see anything. It's not that they are perceiving a blackness that they can't see through. It's that sense doesn't exist for them. And that blows my mind to think about that it's not, because if we see black, there's an absence of something that there was there, and it is replaced by blackness. But they never had it in the first place, so there's nothing there to have a hole or a blackness where that absence is sort of conveyed conceptually. And what that must be like is just fascinating to me.
Plus, how do you know you're wearing the right hat?
Equally mind-blowing. You don't know. You literally don't know.
Why would you even wear? Why would you? You have no concept of hat. Why would you even wear a hat?
You have no concept of hat.
Okay, maybe you have a concept of hat, but you don't really, because you're like a hat, something that goes in your head. Okay. Right. Explain the difference between a bonnet and a hat now, or a baseball. I mean, you can physically explain. You're like, here, feel this. This is a brim. You can
feel the shape of it.
But I don't need to keep the sun out of my eyes.
That's true.
I don't know what it looks like. I mean, what you could be wearing it could be like Captain Antonio's hat. Could be wearing like a captain's hat.
Yeah, and like you said, without a frame of reference as to what shape of hat is appropriate for what situation, you may not know that wearing a captain's hat in the middle of court is, let's say you're a lawyer.
Back to the court.
Well, because that's an obvious
blind
go-to.
Lawyers that.
Well, you're up to your eyeballs in blind lawyers. Yeah, like somebody was like, well, no, a 3-foot tall top hat. That's exactly what you wear in court.
Abe Lincoln style. Yeah.
Right. The stovepipe.
It was good enough for Abe. Yeah.
Right. He was a lawyer and he learned on a shovel.
I feel like we probably offended a lot of people already. A shovel. He's a shovel lawyer. A shovel lawyer. That's right. Abe Lincoln. If you go to his Wikipedia entry, it has on there shovel lawyer.
Abe Lincoln, shovel lawyer, former president. Look, the shovel lawyer is very important. That comes first.
I'm glad they cleared up with the former president part, just in case you
were thinking that maybe he was the current president, or that he had not yet been elected. That he was a future president.
Has he been assassinated yet?
He was future president Abraham Lincoln.
How are your eyebrows doing?
They appear to be.
Have you been for a haircut since we last talked about?
I have
haircuts?
Not. No.
Really? I feel like that was a long time ago. What are you waiting for?
I don't know. Well, I'm notoriously lazy when it comes to getting my hair cut. And like a month and a half
have to cut your own hair. Do you?
Well, no,
somebody does it.
No. I mean, just like the for whatever reason, going,
yeah,
doing the thing. Because it's not like a. I mean, it's not unpleasant, but it's just not a fun thing. That I'm like, woohoo! I'm looking forward to get my hair cut.
It's not the dentist.
No, it's not like painful or anything. My person is very good. I put it off, I guess, because I just don't want to bother. And it ends up being like 2.5 months. And I'm like, oh, wow. I am now progressed into like a new Like I'm doing something new with my hair now, which actually isn't the case. It's just I've gone beyond I have waited too long.
The length gives you the option of doing something. Yeah, I like that, but that's good, right? That you like you let it grow out, and then you can do something with your hair.
That's true.
Something creative.
That's true.
Like a little man bun on Marcus.
Yeah. Yeah. I had the long hair at one point.
No, you did not.
I didn't do the man bun thing because that
But you had long hair?
Came later.
How long was your hair?
It was shoulder.
Really?
Yeah. Well, see, I went to Catholic high school, right? And we were like short hair above the collar, and I was in JROTC, so mine was even shorter. And then so like when I got into college, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna let it go, and I did, and I don't know. I have a notoriously bad self-image. Like I'm always assuming that I am totally not pulling this off, no matter what it is.
Like whatever it is,
a hair thing or a shirt. It's a style I don't usually wear. I'm like, oh God, I look like an idiot. But looking back at pictures of me from that period, I'm like, okay, that's not as bad as I remember thinking it was. Which is a rave review.
It's like the opposite of what most people think, I think, when they go back in time. They're like, oh my God, what was I thinking?
Yeah, and that's I guess, a kind of a weird unspoken benefit of a crappy self-image, a current crappy self-image, is that later you don't have as much fashion cringe when you look backwards. Now, I'm not saying that I don't have any. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. But the my sort of unwillingness at the time to take fashion risks kind of saved me from a little of that too, though.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So going back, so you haven't been there, so you don't know, so you haven't had the experience where they've said like, oh, let me touch these up or anything.
No, not yet. But am I to take from this that?
No, when I went, okay, well, because we had the last time we talked about this, you said that you don't trim them yourself.
Right.
And that you assume that if they need to be trimmed, your barber or beautician will tell you.
My beautician, yes.
Style. What do you call it? Like,
I guess
stylist. Call it a stylist.
I mean, we've talked about this.
Like this, there's no style to this.
But barber,
it's just a haircut.
I will say this: that mine,
I'm an embarrassment to them.
I feel comfortable calling her a barber because she takes.
Is she really a barber though?
Exclusively male clientele. She was trained specifically in male hair.
Wait. Okay.
You do know that there's a difference, yeah? This may be the problem that you're coming up with over here. That may be explaining that.
Exclusively trained in male hair. You don't mean like she was wearing male hair.
No,
you mean like she was
specifically trained, not exclusively trained. Specifically trained. Like you have to be trained. Maybe that's the barber thing, right? Is that the difference? That's kind of.
I thought the barbers are allowed to use straight razors. I thought that was basically the difference. Like a barber is still technically like the only people allowed to like use this actual straight razor thing.
I don't know. It could be. I don't know necessarily the official nomenclature, but I kind of I think of barber as a guy that cuts dude hair, and a stylist as someone who cuts female hair. Because there's so much more that goes into that, right? But it's a very specific set. You get, or skill set. You get these, because you can go to any salon right now. You can go to a touch of curling your dye or whatever, some kind of pun thing, curl up and dye, or styling your head, or what, I don't know. But you can go to one of these places and be like, hey, I am a dude, can you cut my hair? And they'll say, sure, but they don't do that for a living. I think there's a difference. They don't do as good a job, really. So if you get somebody who's trained specifically in doing male hair and male styling, or whatever you want to call it, that's much better. And
it's barbers versus the licensing. That's what I'm interested in. The barber license versus.
Is it like a realtor thing where you can't be called a barber unless specific things are?
Yes, and I think it's probably a state by state thing, of course, because each state has their own licensing process, right? Because there's a barber license, there's a cosmetology license. Yeah. And it does say a barber usually works predominantly with men, cutting or shaping the hair on men's head, blah, 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 blah. And a barber may also groom men's facial hair, including a close razor shave, or a simple trim of the beard. While women could use a barber's services, they generally prefer to go to a hairstylist or licensed cosmetologist instead. Yada, 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 yada. Okay, a cosmetologist, they apparently they also can like do treatments on like skin or hair, and it can also include other things. I don't know, man.
Now, is that the same as what do they call it? An anesthetist?
No, an anesthetist is somebody who actually... No, you're talking an esthetician. An esthetician.
Esthetician.
An anesthetist is somebody who puts you to sleep. No, an
anesthetist is... Yeah.
Also known as anyone on this show.
Well, no, we're the anesthetists.
We're the anesthetists.
They're the patients.
Right. They're the people with patients, apparently. Well. I don't know. Okay, so remember I was saying... wait. The person you go to, whatever they are, have they ever trimmed your eyebrows?
They've done it with, they've done with the clippy thing. They'll take the comb and then they'll they sort of comb backwards just a tad to make them all stand up, and they'll run the clippers.
So they have, and then they'll say something like, "Would you like me to trim your eyebrows?" And you're like, "Oh yeah, sure."
Yeah. Because I figure if they're asking, they must have seen a problem. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
They must have noticed an issue.
Right. And so, okay, for me though, there have been people I see. I've had a lot of people in my life.
Have you?
I mean, I'm not trying to brag or anything, but there's been a lot.
There's life people.
And a lot of hair people. And
people. Oh, okay.
Yeah, hair people. I've lived in lots of places, so there's that.
It's not because you're kind of fussy about it.
Oh no, there's that too.
Okay.
There's some degrees of
part of it.
Yeah, there's certainly that too. But what I have found is that there are some people who do it as a rule. There are some people who
the brows. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, who never do it. Mm-hmm. And then there are some people who do it maybe when needed, or they think it's something like that.
Yeah.
So, but you don't really know which person you have. I mean, like in the latter two categories, you don't really know which one of those you have until it happens. Mm-hmm. Like, do I have the person who never does it, or do I not need it yet? And that's why I haven't done it.
Or is it just because I haven't requested it that they haven't done it, but they're fine doing it if I request it?
And at one point, I was taught by somebody like how to do it. And that was kind of the signal to me that she just didn't want to do it anymore.
Oh, one of your people
yourself kind of thing.
Oh, wow. That's kind of weird.
Yeah, she didn't say it like that. She was a very nice person. Uh-huh. But she's not in my life anymore. I mean, I left her in California. So there's that. But
I left my heart.
I left my hair, lots of hair in Francisco. So then I was going to the barber here. Mm-hmm. The barber down in that place, or down there by the Publix, down in the place off of 535, down yonder hill. I don't know the name of the shopping centers here.
Off of I-35?
Off of 535.
Oh, I was about to say.
V's. I was going to V's. And I had
it's got to be way on the other side of the country.
I had this. I saw this person there, and she was great. I forget her name. And she was fine and great sometimes, but fine sometimes. It was kind of the inconsistency part. But she was she was good. She was good enough. Mm-hmm. And then I saw that there's this other guy there. This other dude. His name is Elvis. Older guy. Probably, I would say, in his mid 50s, 60, maybe late 50s. Actually, late 50s, probably, maybe 60. I'm really not a good judge of age, Marcus.
I'm terrible.
Stop pressing me.
Sorry.
Anyway, his name was Elvis, and he had grown children, so who knows? Anyway, but I saw you notice people getting their hair cut, and you're like, oh, that guy's hair, he did a nice job.
Yeah.
So I had to arrange. It took a lot of work and anxiety, as you can imagine, where I had to find out which days does this person work and which days does this person work, so that I could go when my normal person, what had become my normal person, wasn't there, because I can't have that happen.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up. I have a hard time doing that too.
It's impossible. It's terrible. I'd rather just move out of state. So right. So I was able to shift. I saw Elvis a couple of times. He was great great. I mean, really good haircuts with him. And this is a barber shop.
And his name is Elvis.
Classic.
That's awesome.
His name's Elvis. Right. Problem with Elvis is that he, like, every time I saw him, it was the first time I ever saw him kind of person. Like, he remembered nothing.
Right.
Right. So not only was that problematic when it came to the hair, but it was also problematic when it came to, like, conversation. So we basically had the intro, but that's not the point. The point is that I liked Elvis. He never trimmed the eyebrows, ever.
Yeah. Okay. That doesn't seem like an Elvis thing.
Whatever her name was, she trimmed the eyebrows all the time, every time. Okay. And she was like an old school person. She was trained in I think they were both from Jersey. She was trained in Jersey by the person who used to cut Frank Sinatra's hair. Oh, wow. Yeah. It's just she had stories which were interesting. Anyway, Elvis, I had no idea about. He's got estranged children. It's a whole problem. And I heard about it every time. So COVID happened.
Right.
Oh, well, the other thing is this. They both would do scissor cuts. And I like the scissor cut because it doesn't cut too close. Like, I don't like it when they get so close that you can see, like, the scalp and stuff. Like, I hate that. And it's so easy to do that.
My person does scissors.
And it's kind of lazy. Let's be honest.
Oh, there's clipper cut,
when
like buzz cuts?
When they come with the clippers and they and then they kind of, it's like,
they put the different lengths of safety thing or whatever. Yeah, it's like you're a 4 on top and 2 on the sides. That's very Ron Popeil haircut kind of thing.
So these guys would do scissors. And it was
if I want a Flowbee, I'll get a Flowbee. Right,
and they would do, and then they get the hot soap out and put them in your neck, and they do the thing, and the straight razor. Oh, it's great. Right, but Elvis never trimmed the eyebrows. Okay, so COVID happens. I don't go to the barber for like at least 2 months, 3 months maybe. When I do, and I cut my own hair one time, I just trimmed it. I bought some real legit buzzer things, trimmers and scissors and stuff. I didn't really cut with the scissors. I was too spooked. That was really scary. I couldn't do that.
Man, I would be too.
But the buzzers, I did the buzzer things.
To cut my hair.
Just a little, just like around the edge. It was fine. Mm-hmm. So I finally went to see Elvis after all this time, and he said, he's running his hands through my hair, and he says, not in like a weird way, but like a barber way. And he says, I just realized I just ran my own hair through my hands through it. Okay, so he's like, oh, did you cut your own hair? And I'm like, oh God. I said, yeah, I did one time. He's like, yeah, you didn't do it. He's like, you did an okay job. You did a nice job. I felt he was like, I can tell, but it's not terrible.
Yeah.
Right. And so then he cuts my hair. And
this was long enough after you cut it to go to the barber.
A month. Yeah, it was like at least a month.
So even after a month, he was like, yeah, I think you may have cut this.
Yeah. So he's
this is nice.
But I kid you not, like the cut I got that time was like one of the best haircuts I've ever had in my life.
Yeah?
The best. The next month.
He'd been studying up over COVID, I guess?
I don't know, man. The next month that I like to think that I set the stage really well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, clearly.
Yeah. So the next month I go back, or I try to go back. I do the online schedule thing. He's not even available. What? And of course I do online schedule because I don't want to talk to anybody.
Oh, yeah.
So he's not available. He's not there. He's not there. He's not available. He's not an option. Elvis is gone. Elvis has left the building.
Huh.
So I go back to my the other person, and I start seeing her. Now, here's the thing. Now the stuff's getting real because we're still in the midst of COVID, right? Mm-hmm. I think that at that point, no one's vaccinated. This is 2020. There's no vaccination, so we're wearing masks. And I just wasn't real thrilled with the level of. Like they were doing the temperature checking and the hand washing thing as soon as you came in. They were doing all this stuff. Yeah. But there was like this one dude there that worked there he would wear the mask below his nose and it just drove me crazy. Drove me crazy. Just keep me away from him. And then over time, the rules get lax, a little more lax. Mm-hmm. And so finally I got to the point where it just felt dangerous. Like they were not following any rules anymore. Yeah. It seemed like. Or she was like my barber person was, but all the other people around us were
like
not
licking stuff, and
it was bad. It was disgusting. So I was like, you know what? I can't do this. So I actually went across the street to the salon, whatever. It's like the fancy schmancy place, salon place, and Salon Delay, I think that's what it's called. I went in there,
very fancy,
and bounced around to people, of course.
Sure.
And it's fine. It's just not. It wasn't the same. And so then I went to go back. I ended up eventually, like after a couple of months, going back over to V's and seeing my normal person. But then, like before long, she retired.
Oh man!
Peace out, gone. I'm like, now what do I do? What do I do?
You're going through a lot of these people.
Well, a friend of ours, connected me to his person at back at the salon. They're literally across the street from each other, Marcus. When I park, I have to I'm like all clandestine about it. I'm getting out of my car and pulling my collar up. Like I don't want anybody to see me. Thank God I'm wearing masks. I can tell. So I can tell they notice me. So then I go across the street. I see this new person. She's nice. Mm-hmm. Really nice, listens, blah, blah, blah. She does the buzzer before the clippers thing, which, what am I going to do? Tell her how to cut the hair? Like, am I supposed to do? Yeah. But now, but I wanted to say, no, let's just do scissors. But now it's been like several months. I can't, no, not several. It's been like a long time. Probably have had at least 10 haircuts from this person at this point. That's besides the point. She doesn't do the eyebrows, though. All this time. I mean, a good 9 months goes by, she doesn't, or maybe 10 months goes by, she doesn't do the eyebrows. I've had to trim them a couple times myself, which just never is good. I don't think. I don't know. I don't really know. So, and I'm sure I had to trim my eyebrows because they just started getting trimmed because somebody trimmed. If they were never trimmed, they would be fine. But you know what they say about when you cut things weird. And they start to grow?
Yeah. That's like, if I don't touch my eyebrows for 5 years, they may get a little bushy, but if I cut them,
you're not like,
then they don't. Right, exactly. I'm not combing them or anything. It's
yet.
Like if I, well, I mean, yeah, my dad's father, my grandfather on my dad's side, Pete, he's got you looked at him and you could tell that was the Scottish side of our family because he's about 5'6". Giant eyebrows and built like a concrete cylinder. I mean, the guy was like, I mean,
super low center of
gravity. He said
"I"
all the time when he was understanding things that you were saying. I. So, and it wasn't like, how you doing, lad? Or anything like that, but extremely Scottish without
being actually
Scottish. Yeah. But yeah, so that's in my future is the big,
maybe
enormous eyebrows. I don't know. I feel it already, really.
But as we've been talking, I can feel it grow.
But the weird thing is that, if they trim my eyebrows, they'll get back to where they were, but they won't at the same rate continue on, in perpetuity like my hair does.
No, it doesn't work like that. They grow a certain length.
That's so weird.
Yeah, eyebrows, I feel like what I've noticed, they've gotten a little wiry. That's when you can tell that you're aging, right? Like the eyebrows, it doesn't have the same silky nature to it anymore. I mean, I'm not using Pert Plus on them or anything.
I was about to say, you got to condition those suckers.
Maybe I should condition. Then I'm going to get in my eyes. It'll be a whole thing. I'll be like, Michelle come running in. What's wrong? I got conditioner in my eyes.
Eyeball.
She's like, but wait, your hair's not wet. I was washing my eyebrows.
I've had to have my hair dyed for a show, and they'll dye your eyebrows too. And now that's weird.
Oh, because it's got to match.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. Yeah. That's very strange. Yeah. Especially right after you get it. Like I had to get very, very dark hair and eyebrows, and when you get it, because the idea is that it fades a little bit on purpose, but immediately after the dyeing, it is as dark as you will ever see it. Yeah. Oh man, I look like Groucho Marx. Like if I was any closer, I'd be in back of you. But it's very strange. And it does. So, when you've been blonde your whole life, and you're looking at that in the mirror, you're like, "Oh my God, am I ever going to be me again?"
Maybe not.
I don't think I ever was.
So,
the life of an actor.
So, are you? Okay. So, last time. Oh, I got to insert this too.
Please.
Maybe like 3 times ago, three haircuts, maybe 3 or 4 haircuts ago, I noticed that Elvis is back.
What happened to him?
I don't know, because I never went back to see him again.
Right.
But I feel like we caught each other's eye as like, and I got out of the car one day. He was sitting, barbers do. They were sitting outside, like, with the paper and talking, and probably, barbers do. And
the sheriff is there talking with him.
They're not very busy, probably. And I know he saw me get out, like, and I had the mask on and everything, but I'd be like, I just felt like he knew. But he probably doesn't, since he didn't ever remember me when I was going to him regularly. But in any event, so I go back into my person, and this time, it's like 2 times ago, maybe 1 time ago, maybe just this last time, she says to me, as she's doing the wash my hair thing, she says to me, "Oh, remind me to trim your eyebrows." And she kind of laughed about it, like, "Oh, remind me to trim your eyebrows." Like, what's wrong? Don't anybody? And so all the way back to the chair, I wasn't worried about the towel on my head embarrassing me. I was more worried about, don't anybody look at my eyebrows?
Clearly, there is a problem that has elicited laughter.
Stop looking. So so apparently I asked her, I was like, because she said they were like, I think she's like, they were, I guess when she ran the towel a certain way, they like stood on end or something. Must have been a sight to see.
Yeah. Something caught her a little off guard with the laughing.
It's probably on TikTok.
Could be.
So, so I get back to the chair, and then I'm thinking, do I have to remind her to trim my eyebrows? Like, I don't want to ask her. Like, I don't like. That's weird, right? Like, she says, "Oh, remind me to trim your eyebrows," or don't let me finish without trimming your eyebrows. And I'm like, I don't feel like that's my job. and like, I never say like, "Oh, don't forget to finish, straightening up the back."
Or don't forget to remind me to.
So it's all happening. It's all finishing up. She's got like we're finishing, and she hasn't done it. And I'm like, I'm not going to say anything, because this is me.
Right. Yeah, clearly.
What am I supposed to say? Like, remember, trim my eyebrows. Everybody, everyone hear me in the place?
Well, you don't have to bellow it, but.
Well, everyone's there. That's the problem with these places. Like, they all know your business. Like, so just as I'm about to finish, I'm about to leave, she's like, "Oh, your eyebrows."
Oh, okay. Well, thank God they were addressed. So
then she trims them. Like, it's fine. It's like it's like every other. But what I don't know is like what. I didn't feel like when I went in that they were in any kind of condition that they hadn't previously been in, that they were any worse.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like I don't feel like I know now that, this is when I should ask for it, or what should I ask for it, or should she just do it? Like, I don't want to prematurely ask for it. It's a big problem.
Yeah, I mean, but here's
I've just become much more aware of my eyebrows, Marcus, and a few weeks ago.
Well, now I can't stop looking at them. I mean,
well, I know because I'm rubbing them.
Well, there's that.
And it's kind of, it is kind of soothing actually to rub your eyebrows. Have you ever done that?
Well, not necessarily just my eyebrows, but
I don't know. I'm probably going to give myself an ingrown hair or something doing this. But I was like, I'm just paying attention to it now. I'm like waiting. Yeah. How do you know day by day whether you need it or not? And I noticed something. I had not one, but two two, like out of the blue, 2 gray eyebrows on the same eyebrow. This one. And right, like I've been here, and it was like they were long, Marcus, like long, like they sprouted overnight, like hi, we're here, where's the party kind of thing.
The trimming sort of released them.
Oh, well, I don't know. I mean, they're too long to have not been like working on themselves for a while.
Well, it may have been undergrowth, right? I mean, like
I'm sure. I do. My eyebrows have an undercoat. Yes. Yeah. It's like a Labrador Retriever, really.
Yes, it does. It's for double Joel Canopy jungle. You know, it's like you got the top layer. You cut that down. Now you see
She may have released it. She may have released it. Right.
So sun can get there now, and so they grew.
But the thing is, it's like it was just so long. I didn't know what to do, Marcus. So I pulled it out.
Tweezed them.
I pulled that sucker out with my bare hands.
Man, I
noticed something interesting.
Yeah?
Yeah. This is so weird that as I'm looking at my gray eyebrow, not so much admiring as much as I'm in shock by it. And I'm sure. like almost like, how could you be part? You're no eyebrow of mine. You know, kind of like I'm disowning this thing.
Here.
I'm just. I look at this thing and I noticed something weird. That the eyebrow was gray at the I would say 2/3 of the eyebrow, at least, where 2/3 of the eyebrow was gray, right? But then as you got closer to the base, like the new growth area, it was actually brown.
Now that's strange.
That's what I'm saying.
So did it grow as gray for a little bit, and then your body was like, "Oh no, I'm supposed to make them brown," or is it that the color like didn't have any staying power and it faded or something?
I don't think it works that way. But like,
I don't either. But I don't. Isn't that weird? What's the explanation, right?
I don't know.
It is very strange. Yeah.
So now I have anxiety about that. I don't know what's going to come back. Is a brown eyebrow going to come back, or is a gray eyebrow going to come back?
And the hard thing is that there's no way for you to verify. Yeah.
No, I didn't know
which follicle it came out of. 27B.
Great. Now I'm going to need a spreadsheet.
As though you don't have many.
Right. So I just need you to map my eyebrows, please. So thing is, you could probably find somebody to do that for you on Fiverr. Yeah,
that's where I would go for that. Yeah. Fiverr.
Well, it'd be like $9.
Craigslist has somebody.
Yeah. So. And I need you to meet me in the Caldor parking lot.
Come along.
Doesn't even. So I left one. I left the little guy there. I took the big guy. Left the little guy there. I figured that maybe warning? I have like. What?
Always leave one alive. What's up, Genghis Khan?
Tell the tale. You tell your friends what happened here. And I don't know why I left. You know why? You know why? Because I was worried. Because you start picking at that kind of stuff. You're like, no, I can't. I'm not a professional. I can't start thinning this out. What if I end up with this big gaping bald spot now on my eyebrow?
That's why I don't trim them. I don't even try that stuff because I know I'm going to goof that up and look weird. And
I was taught how to do that. So
but there you go.
But where I have anxiety now is not that gray eyebrow will come back, but that I have not only have begun the graying process at the eyebrow level, which I don't feel like I'm old enough for. I feel like that should be something that doesn't happen for another 10 years, honestly. Mm-hmm. And second of all, I don't see any gray hairs on the other eyebrow. It's just this one side. And so I don't want to be that guy that has one gray eye. Like, oh, he's gray here. It's fine with hair. You know, I got some gray stuff cut. You know, one side is more gray than the other. It's fine. That's fine. But like, I don't want to be the guy that has like one gray eyebrow.
Yeah, that's a little less.
And then I have to be the guy who goes in and says like, I need to like color this. And which one do I?
Yeah, do you go both gray or both brown? Like, I mean, yeah, one gray eyebrow, you're getting into like Batman villain.
And I can't do that at home. There. I can't color an eyebrow at home. It's going to run in my eyes. I'm going to have this like Rudolph Giuliani situation into my eyeballs.
No way you're
I'm going
matching
to blind myself.
Right? I mean, you have to do them both because
it's a disaster.
Yeah.
I have to go in and have a professional do this, and that means I have to go in and tell another human being that I want to have my eyebrow, just one. I want to have my eyebrow dyed,
color balanced,
and I have to then go to the back room with all the women.
Yeah, they're getting their eyebrows
there like it's normal. It's just me here to have my eyebrow darkened.
Eyebrow darkening. Just for
what do I do about this?
Yeah, I don't know. I've got nothing here.
Well, thanks for your support.
I thought maybe I would just be someone who listened.
That's great.
But when you tweezed out I every now and then for whatever reason, one hair, I guess, in your eyebrow, one brow. I mean, what do you call those things? One eyebrow hair.
One eyebrow. I think hair is hair. Like it's like hair. Guess. On my hair, you can mean all of the hair, but you can mean my one hair.
Eyebrows are like really thick and have an obvious taper, which is strange. But anyway, one of those will be like out of place on my head, poking in a bizarre direction. And I'll try to put it back, and it's like, oh, hell no. Boink, and it comes right back. And then you think maybe this is one that's in the process of like falling out or whatever.
One gets crooked. It's like when a comic animal's like when a cartoon animal's tail gets stuck in the door. Like when Jerry from Tom and Tom is the cat, right? From Tom and Jerry, when Tom's tail gets stuck in the door, and then it comes out and it's got like that weird 90-degree angle to it, like it's like
exactly.
It looks like you get that one eye. You're like, how does that happen?
And so I'll be like, well, there's nothing. I try to push it back, and sometimes if they're like almost going to fall out, they'll do that, and you can very easily grab it and pull it out. But like if it's in there full strength, I'll start trying to like grab it with my hands or whatever. And then all that does is like, the Christmas wrapping ribbon where you rake the scissors down it and it curls up real bad.
To give it the curl.
It does that, curl. Right. You go like that. And now it's like not only poking in the wrong direction, but it's now like a circle on your head. And so I'll try to grab the tweezers. And number one, I mean, I'm doing something like I'm having to look in the mirror and I'm already in a bad situation, and it takes me a while just to actually target the friggin' thing and get it in the tweezers. But
it's like docking. It's like docking in space.
Right. Yeah. It's like doot, doot, and then but you're doing it in the mirror, and so it's so weird. But I don't know about yours, and maybe this is everybody, but my eyebrow hairs are in there with like super glue because it takes some serious effort to get one of those things out of my head. And it is really weird. And then when I get it out and you look at it and it's got like the taper on one end, but then it's like obviously you have pulled something out of your head, like something bulbous on the end of that thing. It's like, did I pull the entire follicle? The entire follicle? Like I don't grow hair there anymore because
it'll come back. It's gonna.
See, that's my point. It's like I feel like I have like uprooted a tree or something. It's very, very upsetting.
What do you do? I mean, you don't have an alternative. You can't have a hair like
exactly.
that.
Yeah,
mocking you.
Right. And it's always one that's a little lighter than the rest of them or something like that. So it's no way to.
It's like foundation. There cannot be with Empire. There can't be any differences. There have to be the same.
Are you watching Foundation?
We talked about this. Yes.
Did we?
We talked about that. Yeah. It's finished now for the season.
Yes.
But yeah.
Let me just step in here.
I know what you're going to say. You've already said this.
Have I said this?
Yes.
After the first season, let me say that my attitude has not changed.
Yeah, this doesn't surprise me.
Okay.
But I mean,
I've explained that this is a book series that I discovered in the seventh grade.
But if you watch the extra stuff, they basically explain that they're not. This series is inspired by the books. It's not meant to track.
I don't need to watch the extra stuff to get that. that is apparent. In fact, it is inspired by apparently book covers because nobody on this show has read those books.
I found it entertaining. I mean, it's entertaining.
The visual effects are stunning.
Michelle likes it, which is
the
fact that she likes a sci-fi show. It's interesting. That's good.
I don't want to get into it because it's.
I know. I don't want to lose the 5
people that are watching.
You're just upset about it.
That show is not good. Not good. That show. I don't like it. It's bad. It's bad. Okay. Hawkeye's pretty good though. Have you been watching the Hawkeye?
Oh, yeah, and there's a new one today, actually.
I just got finished watching it, actually. It's pretty good.
You did? You watched it already?
Mm-hmm.
Without me?
Yes.
Really?
You didn't show up, so I was tired of waiting.
Sorry. So I feel like no, I don't feel like talking about that.
What? Well, I don't know which one you have now rejected, but
I've rejected so many because I feel like I've already exposed that it's just like a scary underbelly here that
you didn't want to go any further, or
I don't want to. Okay. Okay, so last time we talked about the potato in the fridge.
Yes.
Day before yesterday, I get home. It was late. I was hungry. I hadn't eaten really any dinner yet. It was Monday night. It was Monday night after the show. So it was probably 10 when I got home, and I was like, I want to eat. I don't know if I want to eat. I don't know what to eat. Well, there were these 2 baked potatoes sitting on a plate on top of the stove.
Okay.
But they had clearly been cooked already.
Mm-hmm.
But they were cold.
Yeah. Were they opened or are they whole potatoes?
No, just whole potatoes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And I said to Michelle, which is just a weird, the next sentence I'm going to say is just a weird thing to say, because it's literally the same thing I said about to myself about the potato in the refrigerator. But now I'm saying it to another human being. And it's weird that I said this at all twice in the same month. And I say, Michelle, I said, so what's the deal with these potatoes? And I think the explanation was, I made them, but I didn't eat them. I don't know, whatever. So then I go to the potato, and I kind of poke it with my finger, hello, hello.
Looking in the potato.
Are you okay in there? What's that? Are you okay? I'm touching this potato, I'm poking at it, and I can feel it's got a weird give to it. I'm because Michelle had also said, you can just heat, they're cooked. You can just heat them back up if you want them. Right. If you want them, and I'm touching it, and I'm yeah, because I don't trust anybody, so I'm touching this. You really? And I said, how old? I said, how old are these potatoes? Are these old potatoes? She's like, yeah, well, they're a little old, but they're fine. That's what she says.
Yeah. As long as she's known you. Why would you think that's how she would phrase it? They were a little wrinkled. They're a little soft when I put them, but they're fine. I was like, I am hungry. This is when college Jason kicks in, because so when I
like my first job out of college, I had these. I would keep whole potatoes, russets or something, in my desk drawer, just in case. They were like my emergency dinner. If I had to work late, you never knew if I had to work late. So like if I was going to be there late, I didn't have time. I would just microwave a potato. And that would be dinner.
You work for Amazon or something? What do you need emergency potatoes in your desk?
I worked on Capitol Hill, so you didn't know if you were gonna have to be there late. So like you had this potato, and they would shut down the food downstairs, and so you're like, I missed out. So it's either that or crackers, sometimes both, and pretzels, and I would have this potato and have ketchup, and I would make it that was my dinner. So anyway, so this is how I was. Here I am, cut to like many years later. I'm 48 years old, and I'm thinking, I think this is going to be my dinner. I'm just going to reheat these potatoes. And I did, and I ketchup them up, and I ate them, and it was fine. And I lived. So I probably could have eaten that other potato in the refrigerator.
Probably so.
Probably. But
I don't know, man. Naked potato in the fridge.
That's weird, right?
And somehow the naked potato on the top of the oven, not as weird. For the fact that it was in the fridge was so bizarre.
Yeah. He's like, it's on. We know you're about to go, but let's just see if we can hold that off a little, like maybe another week or so.
Right.
That's why you put that kind of thing in the fridge.
That's the thing. It wasn't like a Tupperware wrapped in anything. It's kind of sitting in there.
It's just sitting there, like, you don't belong here. Yeah, I know. So, this is, I mean, it's only related. The only reason this next thing is related to the potatoes because it's in the same space. Like, otherwise it's not going to seem related. But just trust me that it is.
No, you have my utter faith.
I was about to say there are few things that annoy me more than, like, I don't know, that's true. So I can't say that. But one of the things, like, I don't understand. This isn't just in homes. It's in restaurants too. But it's in restaurants. I kind of get the idea. In homes, I think it's just you're just being ridiculous.
Okay.
And that is decorative place settings. Like, I don't understand why people do decorative place settings. And by decorative place settings, I mean, it's kind of like, look, no offense, Marcus, but it's sort of like the decorative towels. Because, like,
it's a bit more elaborate than that, though, isn't it? I mean,
well, it's like a plate. Usually there's a plate, and then there's like a napkin, fancy napkin, and maybe, and if you want to go even further, there's like a plate on a plate. Like, oh, this is like here's a salad plate on a regular plate with the little napkin and everything. It's all fancied up. In a restaurant environment, you get that. Plus, you get like they'll have like the glass sitting there. Maybe it's a wine glass. Maybe it's a water, whatever.
Bread plate or something.
And you've been in this situation in a restaurant. You go and you sit down, and the first thing that they do is clear off all the stuff that's sitting there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Perfectly clean, fine stuff.
Yeah, I don't get that. Yeah, I'm with you.
Why? I don't understand.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, did you see it? All right, great. Now we're taking it away.
And what I've noticed is some people I maybe I'm related to have had do this in their homes. Mm-hmm. And I don't get it. I don't understand. Who are you trying to impress? What are you doing? All you're doing is making work and awkwardness.
Yeah.
Like, you go to use that plate, and they're like, oh, no. Don't use those plates. Use it.
And you get the people that will go, like, you know how it's sort of a stereotypical thing for some people to really enjoy, like, 1 million pillows on their bed, right? That, like, far too many pillows that, like, almost to the foot of the bed, there's full of pillows.
If there's one pillow, if there's one throw pillow on the bed, and that's why they're called throw pillows, I think, it's because you have to throw them off the bed. Yeah. They should be thrown off the bed. They should be called casting pillows, because they should be cast into the dark depths of you-know-where.
I think casting pillows are a different thing, though. But
you would know.
Well, I was going to say, but along those lines, some of the people that do the decorative place settings, particularly like holiday themed ones, will like pull out the stops with like, there will be what you call your charger, right? Which is a big non-plate looking, it's not a plate. It's bigger than a plate. It looks like a plate, and then you're supposed to put your plate on it, but it's a charger. And then you got the plate, and then you got a salad plate, and then you got and this is all a stack on top of the thing. And then you got a napkin ring, and in this napkin ring you have a holiday festive napkin. Yes. And so it's like there's so much stuff going on. And like you said, as soon as you are ready to eat, all that stuff goes away, and like
that's the thing.
I know that like particularly with like the older people in my family, you know, not like grandmas and whatnot, you don't use these things. They're too nice or whatever. You can't eat off of them.
It's like the living room that's untouchable.
Right, that's in the plastic. Yes. Where you get the sofa in the plastic. And so, like, yeah, like you said, all of those go away, and the eating plates are stacked up over by the stove. And then you go and you get those, and you get the stuff off of the stove, and you put it on your plate, and you go sit down and you eat. But there is this, like every seat has about 13, 14, 15 pounds worth of stuff sitting on the table in front of each chair. It's just kind of there for the first... not even minute, maybe the first 25 seconds that you're there. You're supposed to look at it, appreciate it, and then it's gone. And now we actually eat. And what was that about? I mean, like, I don't think that anybody
for the pictures. They do it for the pictures.
I guess, but
people
like even then,
pictures of their tables. They're like, oh, let me take a picture of the table.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Why? So you remember next year? Like, I don't know what's the purpose of taking. You're going to document this? Is this for your flip book? I don't like through the years of Thanksgiving furniture decorations.
Sha-la-la-la. But
it's a great show, by the way. That was Family Ties.
Yeah.
Love that.
And it started with Meredith Baxter Burney's shoulder in red paint. I remember that. But anyway, but yeah, those pictures that they always take, the people that do these things, those crazy people. Does anybody go back and look at those pictures? It's like wedding pictures almost, right? Because like, who goes back? You spend like, I mean, I hate to, I dabble in photography, and Emily, as you know, is a photographer. So, not to say don't pay a lot of money for your photographer, because if you want good photographs, you got to pay good money for the photographer. You can't have Aunt Martha with her phone running around.
Unless Aunt Martha's a legit photographer.
But she wouldn't be using her phone if that was the case.
No, she wouldn't. Yeah, no.
But if you want really good photographs, you got to pay for a good photographer. However, do you look at them? I mean, the one or two that you decided to frame, okay? But the one that has, and this is the thing that I always kind of thought was hilarious about wedding photography, is the like every conceivable combination of relatives has to be photographed in front of the church. All right, now we got all the women from the groom's side comes in, and I have two groomsmen from there, and now we take those people away and put some new ones in, and it's like we're doing different iterations and permutations of the family, like this. Now this is just the left side of the family tree, and this is just the right side of the family tree, and it's, my gosh.
Why? I don't even like these people. I don't even know who these people are.
It's not like they're going to buy any of these. Like, why would they?
I know.
It's their wedding, and they're one of 25 people in the shot.
Right. Can't even see I just want to go eat something.
That's all anybody wants that's involved with the freaking wedding. I only had
a sandwich. We've established that. Like, you always eat a sandwich before going to a wedding. I had the sandwich, but it's hours ago now, and it's time to eat other real food.
Now, God help you if you go to a Catholic wedding. Those things take forever.
Like, I just don't. Yeah. Well, I mean, you're right about the picture. I don't know. You know what's really weird
Exactly.
People who take pictures at funerals.
I don't know that I've seen this. Like a
it's a
photographer
thing.
walking around, or they're just taking shots.
No, but that's you talk about.
I'm a funeral photographer.
You talk about having a very niche.
You need one maybe in every city.
So you're a photographer, yeah. What do you specialize in? Well,
kind of the opposite.
I focus on the leaving part.
Yeah, and you don't have to you don't have to worry about a lot of blinking, at least when you're taking shots of
Jesus.
the whatever the intended. I don't know. Recently.
Terrible. But the worst part is I have family members. Again, I'm not going to name names, but I don't think any of them listen to this.
I have an idea what their last name might be.
But they will send me these pictures sometimes. Here's a picture of the dead person.
Of the
body, Marcus. The body laying there. Yes.
What the heck? Thanks.
Why is it even? I feel like. Why is it even normal that you pulled your camera out and took a picture? Like, why is that even?
Yeah, what did everybody else think while you were doing that?
Apparently, that's the thing.
The flash goes off. And you're like,
apparently, people do this.
That is nuts. That is absolutely insane. Send me a picture of the person while they were alive. That's a better picture.
The only thing I haven't received yet is a selfie.
Yeah.
I've not received any kind of like
you get down next to the corpse.
Next to the yeah. That
big grin.
Not seen that. I think
that needs to become the new trend.
Like, of all the things, I don't think that's the one last. I don't think that's the last picture of a person I want to have.
I don't think it's a picture I want to have of any person.
That's the thing.
My mother passed away. I don't want a picture of my dead mother. I want pictures of my alive mother. That's better pictures.
This has happened on Michelle's side of the family. It's happened on my side. It transcends. Apparently, it's a thing, Marcus, is what I'm saying.
I'm not a big fan of an open casket action anyway, but certainly not memorializing it with a flipping picture. I mean, what the heck?
I know. I know.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is a new one on me.
Yeah, so that happened. I have no idea. I can't even remember why that was relevant. And I completely am distracted now because I have found the series of pins that I sent to us while we were together drinking whiskey, and none of them. Well, that's not true. One of them makes sense. Two of the three make zero sense at all.
Predictably,
I don't know. Smell my palm. I remember. I totally remember smell my palm.
Okay, now you do remember smell my palm.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So Marcus and I went to Kumite for a whiskey extravaganza. It was like a blending whiskey thing, teaching moment. Yeah. I don't know. It was very complex and it was an interesting experience.
It was very cool.
Yeah, it was neat.
They have them from time to time. Next time they have them, I highly recommend it.
The whiskey was neat.
That's true.
So, but at one point we get to far enough into this that this was normal somehow, that he says, this is the master blender dude. Mm-hmm. He says, okay, I want you to put your hand on your glass, on top of your glass, which we do. Yeah. And then I want you to put the whiskey on your hand, like on your palm. Get some of the whiskey on your palm.
Splash it up.
And I remember you and I both looked, we were like, so how exactly what's this technique? Do you splash it up?
Yeah, you do this thing like you do with rubbing alcohol or something, where you go whoop, like that.
Right, I don't know what are you doing? So anyway, so we both get the whiskey on hand, and then we rub it together. We're supposed to rub it together like Mr. Miyagi style.
Yeah.
Like
and heat it up. That's the point.
Heat it up. So what you do, and then you smell it, right? Like you're smelling the whiskey. You're like, okay. Yeah.
And now your hands smell like whiskey.
And it's like for the rest of the
weekend. You can't go anywhere.
I couldn't wash that off. I get back to the car later, like hours later.
Fine, officer.
And I
let me shake your hand. Oh wait, no.
Did I spill whiskey on me? I'm like, smell. No, it's on my palms. And then I like using hand sanitizer. I'm like, I think I'm just making it worse.
Yeah. You're blending
I've reactivated
it. a new drink.
I'm just right. And then everything you touch now smells like whiskey. I'm like, why did we even do this? I don't understand. Like, we're just like cattle following the herd here. And like,
and
you could have told us to
squirt it in your eye.
Stand on one foot and toast to the space shuttle. I don't know. And so then the next pin I have on here is, and it's in quotes, Marcus. So that means one of us must have said it.
That sounds like something like that I would say. I don't remember
maybe this
what
came
I said
before
about
Smell
it.
My Palm. Okay,
I think, in mine
things,
it's before Smell My Palm.
So the thing before Smell My Palm was, I've turned into a cartoon.
Was it about?
I don't know. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, it seems hilarious. It's got to be. But I have no idea. And I don't know who I'm quoting here. I've turned into a cartoon. I don't know. I have zero recollection of that. But I somehow remember Smell My Palm, which came after
later,
this.
which you wouldn't think, because we were still actively blending at this point, as one might say.
I've turned into a cartoon. No clue. And then before that, even more intriguing, is the pin that says International Stand-Up Pre-Internet. Now, this has got to be a Jason pin.
That's very you. And I don't think you said anything to me that indicated, like the Smell My Palm, that was pretty obvious what you were talking about, because I was also doing the Smell My Palm thing. I think that was something that occurred to you. And you just pinned it to me sitting at the table, and I was like, okay, I guess we'll talk about that one later, because I have no idea on that one.
No, nor do I. Zero idea. International Stand-Up Pre-Internet sounds.
It's important to point out that one of these whiskeys was cask strength, so we should not be blamed too hard on this stuff.
It's true. I just don't know. Like international. Okay, so we were to Kumite, so there's that.
International stand-up, which I'm assuming is stand-up comedian.
I assume this would be
like how do you?
Pre-internet was like they would be 80s and early 90s. Yeah. I don't know what. So yeah, I think we just have to move on. How do you
be yeah, I think we have to let that one go.
But what did occur to me the next day after I began to emerge from my whiskey-ness was something extremely important. Like a huge okay, maybe innovation's too strong of a word, but I think game changer. But to do it, there's no convincing the organization, the major company that is Disney, the Walt Disney Company. There's not going to be any convincing them to do this. They don't care.
Right.
They should care. And this is
clearly.
This is the problem of trash can noise.
The trash can thing, yes.
Because not even just when you're filming or something. It's not just that. It's just loud all the time. Someone throws something away. Bing, bing, bing. Like the one beautiful time, the one period of time in our lives that we got to experience was when the parks reopened after being closed for COVID. They didn't want you touching things, right? So they somehow made it so that the doors were just open all the time.
Yeah.
And it was a beautiful thing. People just threw their trash in there.
It was, yeah.
You didn't see animals crawling in or out.
No, you didn't.
You didn't see trash overflowing out of it.
Yeah, which, I mean, I don't know that the doors would even affect that.
Like it was lovely.
Overflowing trash is going to goof the doors up, too.
It was lovely.
It was. It was great.
Sound from the trash cans, right?
And they do that for the little recycling ones. They have the little keyhole or whatever that you stick your bottle through or whatever, but it's open.
The little hole. Yeah, the little hole. Yeah.
So they should have something like, I mean, clearly it's not too much of a problem. I mean, I understand the food is going to the other one, but like you said, it's not like there's roving bands of raccoons and stuff in there.
Exactly.
If there are, they sing songs and pose for pictures with guests and stuff.
What they need is very simple. They just need two little, like one for each side, two little rubber bumpers.
Yeah, yeah.
On the inside, because it's the metal hitting the metal that's loud. That makes it loud, right? And it's like a cacophony because it's metal hitting metal in a big open container situation.
Yeah, there's a resonating chamber in there.
Yeah, it's like, so that's what it sounds like when you slow it down. Wah, Right. So just putting those two little rubber bumpers in there would do the trick.
Yeah.
Problem is, look, what am I going to do? Who do I even talk to? And even if I could, this is the same company that hasn't brought the trams back.
Yeah. They're sitting there.
So this is the same company who literally in their earnings call said one of the ways that they're going to save money is by reducing portion sizes. Which, because by the way, this was the CFO who said this, because, you know, some guests can benefit from that anyway.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what she said. So there's no chance that I'm going to convince them to invest in these little rubber bumpers.
Wow.
Right? Oh, you didn't hear that? Yeah, that happened. That literally was a thing.
I did not hear that.
Yeah, it was on the earnings call. This last earnings, you used to listen to it. You could find it. Yeah, that's great. Yes, very sensitive. Very sensitive. There's nothing like a good fat shaming.
No kidding.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Yeah, that's great.
And it's the fat shaming of your clientele. The people that are giving you money.
Right, they're fat shaming your and it's like, do you realize they also listen to this? I don't think
right.
And that happens, and at the same time, I'm thinking to myself, wait, is she in the same room as Chapek?
Yeah.
Did she not see him across the table? He's not a small guy. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with him. I'm saying like some people would say that he could maybe use smaller portions. People would say like I can use smaller portions, but like
certainly I could, but I don't need CFO of Disney to be railing on me for that.
I'm not going to get them to. I'm not going to convince them to invest in these little rubber bumper things, right?
Yeah. So a guerrilla marketing kind of thing, like you put them in there.
Well, I think I just can do it. I think we just do it. I mean, like they're right there. If I get enough, and we get enough people involved in this, you know,
crowdsource
just go around. You could totally crowdsource this, and you just need two of those you know, the adhesive. You just peel them off. Those little rubber bumpers. You just peel them off the paper, right? And you just stick them on the inside on either spot.
So you need 4 per can, but you don't even need to necessarily.
2. Oh, you mean because each side?
Because each side's got a door, right?
So 4 per can. So a bazillion.
True, a bazillion.
Yeah, that's a
lot. But like you don't even have to, like you feel like this is going to be a long-term kind of thing. This is going to be a slow progression because you don't want people to get caught or anything like that. So they only have to necessarily do just one door. You know, leave the other door. It's fine. Somebody else will get that door. As soon as anybody throws the,
I think if you know a can, you have to do the whole can because you don't. How are you going to know that the can's done already? You need a way to.
When you use the can, you're throwing away your stuff. If you notice, hey, that one was loud.
Then you just do it. I love that.
Around, slip thing. Now
cabinet bumpers. Cabinet bumpers, that's what they are.
I was also thinking that a possible solution to this would be those sort of slow close hinges, but I mean, there's no way that we'd be able to put those in.
Right, that's too. No. This has got
So
to be.
if we're going to be putting
cheap
these in,
enough that you can replace these too. Right, because if we do it, I like your strategy because if we do it as we encounter a loud trash can. Yeah. Even if that one was already done, if it's fallen off or someone's taken it off, then you just redo it.
Yeah. Everybody that's a Disney fan that goes to the parks, you just kind of always carry 4 of these things around with you, just in case you run into loud can.
Or for $9.99, you can get an Amazon Basic. We're totally putting this on the Accidentally Derivative Facebook page. A link to this.
You can buy them in bulk.
Amazon Basics. 300-piece clear self-adhesive rubber bumper pads. It's clear, so they're invisible.
How big are they?
$9.99.
$10 for 300 of them. How big are they?
They're different sizes. Well, they're different sizes. It doesn't matter. Who cares?
Well, I mean, I don't know.
It doesn't matter. They will all
There's
work.
There's something in me that really wants them to be all the same size.
They're all going to. Okay. Well, that's going to cost $1 more, Marcus.
Oh, well.
The Scotch brand, half-inch bumpers. They're all the same. But there's only 40, and that's $6.16.
$6, 40 when you could get
cabinet door bumpers, 160 pieces, self-adhesive, clear covered drawer bumpers, $8.99 for 160.
The drawer bumpers. That sounds like the ones that we're talking maybe a half inch in diameter. I don't know that that's enough to
I think we're going to have to get some different sizes and try them out.
Yes. Yeah. We'd have to do some field testing on this.
Well, I think we have to do this. What began as like a pipe dream has now become
a mission.
Yeah, I feel like this is a thing.
We certainly need to do it before you record things.
We could be the people who silence
6 cans.
Who silence the cans across the world, the Disney World.
# silence the cans.
Silence the cans. Talk about a T-shirt.
Yeah.
Silence
the cans.
I love it. We're gonna silence the cans. We're gonna do it. Let's do it. We got to do it.
Silence the cans.
I think we can do this. I think we can actually make this happen. Yeah. I think it has to happen. We just have to. We have to decide on. We have to find the right bumper.
We've had enough. And then had enough of the loud cans.
We've had. Yes.
It's time to take matters into our own hands.
Like the eyebrows.
Silence the cans.
Silence of the cans. I just had a very different visual in my head. I'm not going to talk. Smell my palm.
#